Morning, everyone.
Good morning, Rabbi.
We are Good night. Good night. We are learning Mishnah Ismail Cotton, Parak Gimel, Chapter 3, Mishna Ches, Mishnah 8. Now, on Cholamoid, we are not permitted to give a hesped, to do a eulogy. There are certain expressions of grief that we may not show on Cholamoid, and some that we may. So the Mishnah says like this: Ein manichnes hamita barachayiv. One may not put down the mita. The mita literally means the bed, but it's translated here as a B-I-E-R, as a beer. And they explain it like this: literally bed. In Mishnaic times, as in some places today, corpses were not transported and buried in coffins. Rather, they were carried on a type of stretcher and then placed directly into the grave, right? As is done in Yerushalayim. Mm-hmm. So that's the mita. Now, it was the custom for eulogies to be said in the street on the way to the burial, which means they would, as they were on the way to the burial, they would stop and someone would deliver the eulogy. And stopping means they didn't stand there and carry it, they would put it down. On Chalamah, eulogies are forbidden. The Mishnah teaches that the bier in which the deceased is carried should not even be set down in the street on the way to the burial, since that could lead to eulogies being said. So therefore, on Cholamoid, on the way to the burial, no putting it down in the street, even though, again, there's not supposed to be only eulogies, but we're afraid if you put it down on the street, you put it down, that it may lead to somebody coming forth and giving a eulogy. So lahargal as a hesped, so as not to bring to somebody giving a eulogy. If the bier is carrying a woman, we never put it down on the ground. They are covered out of honor. Now, the way that's explained here is like this. It's very interesting. Number 3, because blood may flow from them even after death, and stay in their shrouds, which would be an embarrassment. Mm-hmm. So, therefore, even all year round, we do not put it down on the street. Now, so when do you deliver the eulogies? I'm not sure. But the point is, by the woman, you basically do not leave it sitting there on the ground, because it could bring about disrespect or dishonor to the corpse, and therefore there's no putting it down. Now, does that mean there's no stopping at all to give a eulogy? Does that mean you go straight to the burial? I'm not sure exactly. Next, nashim b'mayed ma'anos. Women on Cholamoid may do inui. Inui is a type of a chant. Now, let me read you from the note here. They explain it. The next Mishnah defines this as a funeral chant, chanted together by many women. Although eulogizing is forbidden, this type of expression of grief is permitted. These laws apply to men and women equally. The Mishnah speaks about women simply because it was common for them to engage in these expressions of mourning. But the point is, this kind of expression called inoi is something that is permissible on Cholamoid, avaloi metapches, but no clapping their hands. Clapping their hands doesn't mean as in applause. It means they may not strike one hand against the other as a sign of sorrow. They used to do. Like a person claps their hands out of grief, right? So therefore, that you may not do. That's considered a more intense expression than the inoi, than the chant, and therefore that they may not do. Rabbi Shmuel says, Hasmucha Islamita, the ones that are right near the beer, being the ones that are closest to the beer itself, metapches, they would be able to clap one hand on the other in grief. So according to Rabbi Shmuel, it's for those who are basically right in front of the corpse, they would be able to express their grief in that way. And the Bartanura says the halach is not like Rabbi Shmuel, and therefore they cannot do this clapping of hands on Cholamoid at all. Okay.
No, they have professional.
Cloud Base, Chapter 2. Also, let's hop a lashon hara al chaveroi. One is forbidden to speak lashon hara about his friend. Af shehu emes, even if it's the truth. Afilu ifnei yachid, even if it's only in front of one person. V'chol shkem ifnei rabim. Well, the more so, the sin increases if you do it in front of many people. The more listeners there are, that will cause the sin of the one telling this lashon hara to increase. Because his friend becomes more degraded through this. Now, the fact that more people know about this bad thing about him, that is something that, degrades him more. The more people know about something, the more they talk about it, the more they can properly spread it. The more people who don't look well upon him. Another reason why the more people you speak to, the greater the sin, is because you who are speaking Lashon Hara to them is causing them to sin by listening to Lashon Hara. And the more people that are listening because of you, the more people that you are causing to sin, the more that increases your avera of causing other people to stumble into sin. Have a wonderful day and a good night.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you, Rabbi.